What's up, maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today we are discussing NXT Halloween Havoc. It has happened, it is back, and it has happened. And guys, this was quite possibly the best NXT show that they have put on in a couple of months. Honestly. This was a really, really good, entertaining show. What NXT has needed for a very long time. I know every week can't be Halloween Havoc, but let them keep the same energy and, the same intent. That's what was good about this show. It was just a really punchy after punch after punch after just action non-stop. And we're going to get into everything that happened on NXT Halloween Havoc. So stay right here. Right here at WrestleManiac UK, I discuss everything that is WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. And no matter where you're watching, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, hit the like button, show us some love on the review. Right, so let's get into it, guys. Brilliant show. Obviously, the main gimmick within this show was the whole spin the wheel, make the deal. Shotzi as a host, really good. She had some very raunchy outfits at times. All costumes and Halloween stuff. But yeah, it was definitely different. So yeah, Shotzi Blackheart was taking us through the show, advertising each match, so to speak. And the first match of the night was Johnny Gargano versus Damian Priest. And the match was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Shotzi spun the wheel and we got what I think they called was it a Devil's Playground match, if I'm correct? Something like that. Yeah, Devil's Playground match. And they were just killing each other. It was a non-disqualification match for those that don't know. Devil's Playground, non-disqualification, anywhere falls, anything goes basically. And they literally just beat each other from pillar to post all over the ring area. Went backstage for a point and were beating each other up there. Johnny Gargano dumped a bin over Damian Priest, I remember. Let me just go back in the story a bit. Damian Priest's entrance was very, very good. They got in like a solo guitarist and he kind of played Damian Priest's entrance music. It was very, very good, very entertaining. And when they came out, Johnny Gargano popped the massive pumpkin that was on this entranceway. So I guess he doesn't like wheels and he doesn't like pumpkins. But yeah, like I was saying, they were having a terrific match, very violent match. And then they made their way back from the backstage area, and on top of the stage area where the wheel was, beating each other up there. Johnny Gargano, in fact, for Mr. I Don't Like Wheels, he used the wheel to his advantage to deliver basically his final beat DDT, like a running DDT. And all of a sudden, I think Damian Priest was getting back in the ascendancy. You see a figure in like wearing the Scream mask and all of that kind of stuff appear, and this particular figure literally came with a steel pipe and came to take out Damian Priest. Johnny Gargano looked as if he didn't really know what was going on, but you can never trust Johnny Gargano, can you? But Johnny Gargano used it to his advantage. The figure brought like a tombstone, handed it to Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano smashed this thing over Damian Priest. And Damian Priest literally fell from this stage area into like maybe some other boarded, protected area down below. Johnny Gargano got down from the stage, pinned Damian Priest, and became a 2-time North American champion. Now, the minute that happened, I thought, are they going to do that? Are they going to make Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano champions on the same night? I did think it was very dependent on if NXT were going to partake in Survivor Series. It doesn't look like that's the case. So there was every opportunity and every chance that this could happen. But I guess, yeah, Johnny Gargano, a 2-time North American champion. Who do you guys think the masked figure was in the Scream mask? The Grim Reaper. Who was that person? Indy Hartwell is my guess. Obviously, she's shown that she's got some type of alliance with the Gargano family. This Grim Reaper was to turn up again later on in the show. It looked, the height of the person, it looked like it could be Indy Hartwell, but I guess we are going to find out in due time. But that Johnny Gargano match, very good, very, very good. Good way to start the show. Next up on the show, we had Pat McAfee, his new associates, I guess, Danny Burch, Oney Lorcan, the tag team champions. They came out, and Pat McAfee was basically saying his motivation behind, the events that took place last week, why he basically signed these guys up, and he still basically got a vendetta with the Undisputed Era. Undisputed Era guys all out injured, basically, apart from Kyle O'Reilly, who turned up on the night, walked down to the ring, and looked like he was about to get in the ring and confront them. But, commentary were telling us, selling to the fact that it is 3-on-1. If Kyle O'Reilly gets in that ring, he's got to face Pat McAfee, Danny Burch, and Oney Lorcan. All of a sudden, we hear that familiar music, or I guess it's a bit unfamiliar at this point, but it was familiar to me because I love it. Pete Dunne was back in NXT main show. We saw him on NXT UK a couple of weeks ago. He's back on NXT main show. And it was very much framed as if he was coming down to help Kyle O'Reilly. He came down with 2 chairs. He got on the apron where Kyle O'Reilly was standing. He handed one to Kyle O'Reilly. Cool. The 2 of them get in the ring now. It's still 3-on-2, but they've got chairs. As Kyle O'Reilly stood forward to almost lay his first attack on Pat McAfee and Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, it happened. Pete Dunne stood behind him, took the chair shot to the back. Kyle O'Reilly just literally crumbled. Pete Dunne has turned heel and joined, this faction of Pat McAfee, Oney Lorcan, and and Danny Burch. I am very invested in what is going to happen from here. Pete Dunne, for me, could easily be, North American champion. But I mean, at this point, maybe can we push him a bit higher? We don't know the future of Finn Balor. And this is the thing what excites me, because yes, Finn Balor is still champion, but is he injured? Can he continue? Pete Dunne is a viable contender to really throw into that mix. And really and truly, if it wasn't for the pandemic and everything, this is really where Pete Dunne should be without, any loss of momentum. He's fantastic. And with this group having Pat McAfee as their mouthpiece, these boys can run riot on NXT. They can definitely at least challenge for that top faction kind of positioning of Undisputed Era. So I'm very invested with Pete Dunne kind of joining up with these guys and seeing where exactly this goes from here. Moving on, we had what was the House of Terrors match, I believe they called it. So that was Cameron Grimes versus Dexter Lumis. My memory, man. My memory's in tatters. But yeah, we had vignettes for this backstage. We had a little bit of build up where Cameron Grimes didn't actually want to go to the match. He was asking William Regal, is this a mistake? Can't we just have the match in the ring, etc., etc. William Regal was telling him there's a van outside waiting to pick you up. William Regal escorted him to the door where this van was. There was a little exchange between Cameron Grimes and Michael Hayes. I didn't quite catch what happened there. If anyone knows, just put it down in the comments for me. But Cameron Grimes got in the van and was taken to this house, this haunted house. And all sorts was going on. Zombies everywhere. There wasn't much of a match or even confrontation. There weren't many confrontations between him and Dexter Lumis in the house. There was a bit of scuffling here and there, but not much. My favorite part was he bundled himself into the bathroom. There was a lady washing herself, and Cameron Grimes was on some, oh, hi, hello there. Like, let me jump in with you sort of thing. And which I thought was really, not WWE, not NXT, but it was really funny. Cameron Grimes, brilliant performance throughout this whole thing. He pulled back the curtain of the bath and it turns out it was just another zombie or a witch or something that was having a shower, which literally made Cameron Grimes jump out of his skin. He ran away eventually from the house, and then they continued this segment. We showed him running back towards the CWC arena, and they continued this later on in the night, but I'll just talk about it now. In the ring, Dexter Lumis was in the ring, Cameron Grimes as well. The ring was like surrounded by zombies. He even gave a cave-in to one of the zombies before Dexter Lumis kind of got the upper hand, applied his finisher, his little sleeper hold, and put Cameron Grimes away. Really, really interesting. Really well done. Brilliant performance by Cameron Grimes, in my opinion, throughout of this whole thing. I feel like this was tailor-made, obviously, for the success of Dexter Lumis with his whole character. So now he has had like his moment in the sun with this creepy character and creepy surroundings. Where does Dexter Lumis go from now? Because not every day is Halloween. So in terms of a character, where do we see Dexter Lumis go from here? Guys, if you have any suggestions, put it down below in the comments. We had some cruiserweight action between Santos Escobar and Jake Atlas. But before we get on to that, guys, again, if you're enjoying the review, please make sure you smash the thumbs up button. It does a lot for this channel. And this channel is ever growing. And it's all because of you guys supporting and hitting the thumbs up button. So you know how much I appreciate it. Please hit the thumbs up button if you are enjoying the video. Moving on, Jake Atlas versus Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar doing his greatest Rey Mysterio Halloween Havoc from back in the day impression, wearing the purple tights. Obviously, we've seen Seth Rollins do that recently amongst his feud on the main roster. Santos Escobar done it again tonight. And that, I guess, was the best part about this match, because there just wasn't, it was like 5 minutes long, if that. Very frantic, very fast and furious, but it just wasn't long enough. It was a bit of a waste. It was pointless. Maybe just a showcase for how strong our cruiserweight champion is, which I guess is fair enough, but they didn't really have to put Jake Atlas in there, who is like a rising star in this division. Santos Escobar more or less put him away pretty easily. Like I say, the match did not last very long at all. So yeah, Legado del Fantasma still remaining, looking strong. I guess they didn't have much to do in the way of the Halloween themed stuff going on the night. But I'm sure we'll see them on NXT TV next week. Moving on, we had the clash I have been waiting for weeks. You don't know how long I've been waiting for this fight. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez. And why I was really interested in this match, it was to see what Raquel Gonzalez could do. We've seen her as, you know, this heavy for Dakota Kai, but can she go alone with someone as experienced as Rhea Ripley? And the answer is yes. Raquel Gonzalez put on a very, very good match, a very good performance against Rhea Ripley. Both women, absolute Goliaths compared to everyone else in their division. But I was invested. I was invested throughout. I really want to see what kind of happens next from these women. Is Rhea Ripley ever going back to the title scene is the question. And then Raquel Gonzalez, is she going to break free from her relationship with Dakota Kai? Very good match. I mean, there's nothing wrong, I have to say, about this match. In the end, Rhea Ripley won with a riptide. But, you know, a great performance by Raquel Gonzalez, a real kind of coming of age. And like I say, it's going to be very interesting to see where she goes from here. Last but not least, the women's championship match. It felt a bit weird to have a kind of show as big as this. No NXT title, no NXT champion, but I think we had a little thin vignette, just keeping him in the front of our minds, I guess. But yeah, Io Shirai, Candice LeRae, women's championship on the line. We had rock singer band, I don't know, Poppy. She came out. to kind of greet Io Shirai into the ring. And attention's turned back to Shotzi Blackheart on the stage with the wheel. She spun the wheel, and we had a tables, ladders, and scares match. So a TLC match, non-disqualification, basically. Again, anything goes. And yeah, the championship was taken from Io Shirai, put on the lowered down strap, and raised into the ceiling. Have to retrieve more like the championship from the top of the ladder. So here we go. These women went in, no letting up. This was another brilliant match. I mean, I was kind of disappointed when this match was announced because I was expecting, something else, Buried Alive or something, I guess. But these were two quick matches in terms of the Devil's Playground match and the table, ladders, and scares match, which they could have just put on without much effort, I guess. But they did provide some effort in terms of, decorated ladders and tables and stuff like that. There was a point early on where Candice LeRae went to pull out a table, and there was actually a sack on the table. When she emptied the sack, it was just a person's body parts on top, and she literally jumped out of her skin. Io Shirai picked up one of the arms and literally started smacking Candice LeRae's ass with it, which I thought was quite funny. But yeah, these women non-stop. This was a very brutal kind of match. Weapons used throughout. There was even a spot where I think Candice LeRae took a monitor or a laptop from the commentary table and used that, threw it at Io Shirai. It was crazy. It was mad. We had a spot where Candice LeRae put Io Shirai through the tables on the outside. And then we had the entrance of the Grim Reaper again. The Grim Reaper pushed Candice LeRae into the ring, put Candice LeRae on their shoulders, and climbed up the ladder and looked to push Candice LeRae up the ladder as she was kind of still dazed to collect the Women's Championship. Just as she was doing this, I believe Io Shirai got involved first. She came back to her senses, got back in the ring, and brought down the Grim Reaper from the ladder. Shotzi Blackheart herself then got involved, and Shotzi Blackheart took out this Grim Reaper. Candice LeRae was down at the top of the ladder, reaching for the Women's Championship. You had Io Shirai on another ladder, stopping Candice LeRae doing that. You saw Candice LeRae push Io Shirai from the ladder she was on. Io Shirai, got back to her feet in quite quick fashion and got to the bottom of the ladder where Candice LeRae was. Candice LeRae was now pushed by Io Shirai from the top of the ladder she was on to the ladder that had been set up, which was a bridge from the commentary table to the ring. Candice LeRae went through the ladder, like literally it was like a ton of bricks. Like, I couldn't believe I don't think I have ever seen a female do that spot. We've seen a spot many times, but I don't think I've ever seen a female do it. Maybe not on NXT, definitely. And yeah, this was something else. Io Shirai even looked scared and like kind of regretful that she had done it. Io Shirai climbed the ladder that was left standing in the ring and pulled down her Women's Championship. So Io Shirai retained. The Grim Reaper, Candice LeRae plan, or whatever you want to call it, didn't work this time. Io Shirai is still the Women's Champion. So very, very, very good match. This was probably one of the matches of the night, probably alongside Cameron Grimes' performance, I would say, in that horrors, that House of Horrors match. Brilliant stuff. Like I said at the top of the show, this is the best show NXT have put on in weeks. Absolute weeks. Like, it was so good. And, if they really want to be competing with AEW, at least in terms of TV ratings and stuff like that, I personally don't care. But this is the level it has to be. Like, I watched NXT first this week, and I said AEW are going to have a job keeping up with this show. AEW was very good as well, but this, I think, personally took it for me for this week. It was a very, very good show. So yeah, guys, that is my NXT Halloween Havoc review. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, put down in the comments Who's the Grim Reaper? I'm going with Indy Hartwell. I still think it's her. I'm sure from what we have seen on TV in recent weeks, a lot of us are going to think it's her. But if you think it's anyone different, do let us know down below in the comments. Guys, please give a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Give us a like. We thoroughly appreciate it right here. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. Please make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I will see you soon.